What?
My mouth's watering.
Your mouth's watering,
Yes.
like a craving?
Yes. PB&J pizzas.
That's pretty weird. So like peanut butter and jelly on a pizza. I could do it.
Why would you think that? PB&J pizza. First you have the P and the B. Pineapple and bacon.
Okay. And what's the J?
Jalapenos.
And then what? You just put this on pizza crust or no? Of course
Sugar
not.
cookie.
Okay.
Rolled out.
And the sauce?
Cream cheese.
Every now and then, the internet introduces us to a set of fascinating characters. Couples who think it is their responsibility to show us what a perfect family looks like. They show us staged and scripted reactions of when she found out she was pregnant.
Okay, I just took a test, a pregnancy test, and it was positive. I have to show you my reaction to finding out because I was in so much shock. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys. I don't even know if it's been 3 minutes. I didn't.
Or what life looks like without their 1-year-old child, who ideally should not be getting so much time in front of cameras.
Kay and I have never done before. We went on a trip without Ellie for the first time.
I don't even think I slept the night before. I kept second guessing, should we even go? Is this a bad idea? Is Ellie gonna wake up and be so upset when we're not there? It was a lot. So this video is basically us taking you along on the trip, the nerves, the glam, and then of course
People who, for some reason, are willing to do just about anything for views and likes, even going as far as abandoning their own kid and covering up a real story of domestic violence just to maintain the perfect image in the sight of the world. Their lives on full display for the world to see, with everyone feeling entitled to an opinion on whatever is put out on the internet. Couples like these try so hard to be the poster family of perfection, and when real life issues happen, the web of lies and deceit start to spin. Every new video an attempt to redeem an already lost redemption with so much intensity that it leaves their audience in complete disgust. This is the real story of Kay and Tay, a story of zero boundaries, no privacy, made-up stories for likes, deserting their children, and cover-ups. This is the real story of Kay and Tay, a story of zero boundaries, no privacy, made-up stories for likes, deserting their child, and cover-ups. Before becoming famous in spaces like TikTok, Kay and Tay lived their other lives. Kay, whose full name is Kaylee Dudley, worked as a dental assistant, while Tay, or Taylor Dudley, served actively in the military for some time before getting discharged. They met in a small town in Oklahoma where Tay was stationed during his military service. So far, they have successfully grown their social media following with 11 million followers on TikTok, 6 million followers on Instagram, 1.6 million followers on Facebook, and 3 million subscribers on YouTube. For a social media journey that started just 3 years ago, they have surpassed most creators in terms of numbers, with some of their TikTok videos getting as high as 40 to 50 million views. While they are known now for family life content since having their kids, they started out with videos where Tay tries to act like Kay in different scenarios.
Babe, snow day, the snow. I'm not going into work today. The roads are gonna have black ice.
What do you mean is this all I'm wearing? This is perfect. It's not even gonna be that cold outside. It's a few pictures. It'll be fine. Come on, sweetie. Yeah, put the jacket on. It's gonna be a little cold outside.
Oh, you did it. When I said take out the trash, I meant go around there. Look, it's ruined. How am I supposed to take pictures here now? It's crazy. Look at that. It's like Snowmageddon. It's gonna be on Facebook. Do you want everyone? I'm gonna post this one, okay? I'm gonna post this one. Can you give me some gloves, please? I'm freezing here. And it's black ice on the road. It's Snowmageddon again. I just can't come in, okay? Sweetie, can you get me for my head? Shake it up, like right up here. Just toss it. I said a snow day. That was a blizzard. What are you? We're almost done. What the hell, Tay? What are you doing? I almost had the perfect one. Yeah, baby, you're doing great. Yeah. That little slice right there, that's yours now, okay? This is Mama's picture snow over here. No, I don't want to play snowball fight right now. Why don't play with the house? Just throw it at the house.
It's time to cook dinner. better get your butt in here. I don't want to see you playing that game yet. Did you poop? Oh my gosh, spray something. Oh my gosh, they always have the ads. Where is the recipe? What are you looking at? I have to get this exact. Now I don't even know which one I'm on. Great. I'll just pour it back in and start over. Come on! You gonna open these or am I just gonna do everything myself? Oh my gosh, sweetie, you're gonna have to turn it down. I am cooking in here. I'm cooking faster than the water. I cannot wait to get more counter space. Look at this. How do I work with this? What's going on here? Taylor, you didn't remind me to preheat it. Well, we're not gonna eat till 7 now. Can you get me my glasses, please? Taylor, I said I needed help. Babe, where are you going? Thank you for the cans, but I might still need you in here for a few more things, okay? Come on, you're not going in to play that game yet. Taylor, it's because you're hovering. I'm just gonna do a little cup, and that's it. Just one cup. This sounds so familiar. Does that look like I have a cup to you? I don't know. Taylor, I was asking you to hold this one. Let's dig in. Thank you. No. You know we measure first. We gotta get right in the middle because I want my portions to be even. See, I told you it was gonna be quick and easy, no stress. Now we can go eat and we can hang out together and then you can get back on your game.
And some obviously scripted videos too, like this one where Tay suddenly can't count his own fingers and acts surprised when Kay overcounts.
I have 10 fingers, so.
Okay, watch. 1, 2, hold these 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
How'd you do that? Uh-uh.
It's actually quite simple to get a hang of this. Anyone could easily see through that. But well, anything for the numbers, right? If content like these were all they were known for, Kay and Tay definitely wouldn't be getting as much as heat as they're getting now. So what's all the fuss about these two? In 2019, Tay was arrested for assaulting Kay. This was unknown to the public at that time, but it became a big issue when documents related to the matter were leaked and Tay was seen smiling in his mugshot. When the mugshot was released, it hit people hard because of the crime involved. The charge was domestic violence, something serious and deeply personal. The picture itself made Tay look cold and detached, with an expression that many saw as showing no guilt or sorrow at all. That combination and severity of the accusation and his unconcerned look made a lot of people instantly label him as dangerous and psychotic, like someone who completely disconnected from the harm he was accused of causing. There were comments like, "What a psycho. Why is he smiling in his mugshot?" I always think that's weird when someone doesn't look serious or remorseful or sad in their mugshot. This information was a complete shock to the happy and close-knit family that they showed online. Viewers were simply used to seeing their marriage to be happy and healthy, at least that's how it seemed like. And this serious accusation that was thrown at them seemed completely out of place. Many people simply could not connect this serious charge to a family that was sweet and loving, and pretty much that was the reason why people followed them in the first place, a couple that generally seemed so sweet and loving. Well, however, there were followers who had their questions because they were seeming absolutely lovable that also seemed a little too good to be true, especially when the viewers were not ready for news this serious and dark. In the documents released, it was written that Tay threw the victim down the bed, then the floor, and then the bed again, and pinned her down, making her fear for her safety. This is the same Tay who allegedly has Barbie playtime with Kinsley, Kay's first daughter. It goes to show just how two-faced someone can be. Gentle, caring father during the day, violent men by night to protect their reputation and carry out some level of damage control on their image, Kay and Tay addressed this issue on a podcast session. Kay explains that in the real sense of things, there was no actual domestic violence case, and that it was just a false information being circulated on the internet. According to her, the problem began because she took her medication the wrong way.
What are you specifically referring to?
So the whole story in question, it happened 5.5 years ago on my birthday.
On your birthday?
On my birthday. Just being fully transparent, that night we were drinking wine and playing Minecraft. And we used to call it Winecraft. That was something that we used to do.
It's like a game.
It was just like a little.
It was really fun.
It was just a fun game, and that was what I wanted to do for my birthday. And so we drank wine. And I know I've spoken about my autoimmune journey a few times and how it's been about 5 years. Well, that was right around the time that I first started taking medication, prescription medication for the autoimmune problems that I was having. And so I had been on a new medication for about a week, and I had never drank with that medication before, and my doctor didn't tell me not to drink with it. And I think in hindsight, I probably should have maybe made sure, but at the time, I just took my medication before.
It's weird that any grown adult would expect to be told not to take medication with alcohol. The only places we see stuff like that done is in the movies, and that's the thing. Movies are make-believe. Nobody's expected to pattern their lives after something like that. Without a doctor's advice, everyone knows that the safest and most recommended way to take meds is with water. Like it's basic knowledge, trying to blame such actions on your doctor is irresponsible.
And we went to bed, and then I woke up maybe 2-3 hours later, and I was completely confused. I didn't understand what I was doing. I didn't understand that I hadn't celebrated my birthday. I thought that we hadn't celebrated yet, and I wanted to leave. I was trying to drive and leave the house, and Taylor obviously could tell that I was having like a medical emergency. I wasn't acting myself, and he was trying to keep me on the bed, keep me from leaving.
I was also confused because we had just woken up in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
too.
he was probably
She
thinking,
was just like,
what is going on?
digging for her keys, and I'm like, what is going on?
Now, their claim is that mixture of medication and alcohol threw Kay's mind into a disturbed state, and she could not understand what was going on around her when she woke up. What comes off as odd here is the fact that when she woke up, what she wanted to do was to go out to celebrate her birthday, but they both stated earlier that they decided to play what they call Winecraft. How did that not come to mind as the first thing to do in celebrating her birthday? Why go out to celebrate if that was never the original plan? Well, it's easy to blame it all on her mental state at that time, because who will argue with that, right? Also, what happened to Tay just seizing the car keys and locking up the house? Why did he have to leave? Why did he have to try to pin her down for any reason? Sounds like that was his go-to response right off the bat, and it just doesn't present him in a good light. If the partner you claim to love wakes up in some state of confusion, you wouldn't go WWE on them as a first point of response. Any rational person's response would be to peacefully de-escalate the situation. Were questions not asked? No. Now what's going on, babe? Nothing. Just straight to pinning down. Almost like it was a situation that had happened before. There are cases where holding down would be considered the best option, but this wasn't the case at all.
Basically, it ended where I said, I'm gonna call the cops if you don't let me leave. And in his mind, he's like, okay, call the cops. Maybe they'll come and help you. Like, he wanted them to come because he wanted them to help me. He said, you're having a medical emergency. Something's not right. Like, we were not drunk. There was no reason that I should have been acting like that.
It's also confusing how Kay's first response to not being allowed to leave the house to go celebrate was to threaten to call the cops. At that point, from their story, he had done her no physical harm. There clearly was no need for the cops. Tay likened his state of mind to that of someone who had dementia and could not remember anything or anyone around her. She was well aware of who it was she was interacting with. She was not confused at all. She did not think Tay was a stranger to her. Ideally, even in her alleged frenzied state of mind, nothing warranted a call to have her husband arrested more so even for a reason as trivial as not being allowed to go celebrate her birthday. Tay, however, gave what he believes should be a compelling reason why Kay responded that way.
I think some background, Kay's dad was like a chief of police. So when Kay is very like, police are like the go-to, like, you know,
They're
like
gonna help me.
Yeah, like it's not, it wouldn't be unnatural for Kay, you know, in a situation where something was going on, she's the one that calls the police. You know, if you're at a restaurant and there's a fight, Kay's like, I'm gonna call the police.
Yeah.
You know, that's very natural to her.
The problem with that excuse, though, is that Kay never really felt endangered at any point during that time. So it should be quite a natural response to call the cops if she ever felt that way and she did not feel endangered, and she shouldn't have just called the cops to leave the house, which was exactly what happened earlier. So eventually the cops arrived and an arrest was made.
So
In my
that's-
mind, they were gonna tell Kay, hey,
Yeah.
yeah, you can't drive, like, duh. And then Kay was gonna be like, okay, or maybe at that point she would be good, and you know what I mean?
Or they could have at least sent some, like, I don't know, paramedic or somebody to just check me out, make sure I was okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
Again, with the blame game, first, she blamed her doctor for not telling her to take medication with wine. Now, the cops have their slice of the blame cake cut out for them too. How do you call the police to report a case of being held against your own will, then expect paramedics to show up? It makes no sense at all. Obviously, Kay has no problem crying on command. The whole emotional bit is as fake as it gets. Nothing about the conversation should have made her that emotional.
And so they said, one of you guys have to come with us. And that, I mean, it was literally one of us. It wasn't like, Taylor's the bad guy, we're going to take Taylor in. It was, one of you have to go in. Taylor volunteered to go in. Like, he literally said, take me, don't take her. And that was it. I was left there and they took Taylor, and that was the last thing that I remember, other than I called you when you were in jail and we coordinated the bail money and I bailed him out the next day. If he was doing something to hurt me, I would not be allowed to bail him out legally. I would have had to remain separated from him until the court hearing. That's the way the law works. I would not have been allowed.
Suddenly, Kay knows how the law works. Sadly, though, that line of reasoning is not as accurate as she might have thought. If Tay assaulted her and she decided to ask for his release on the grounds that he did nothing wrong, they would have still have been obligated to listen to her. Basing his innocence on the fact that she was allowed to bail him out is quite shaky and honestly not a good justification at all.
Like, I was devastated and I could not understand why they took him. I was making phone calls. I was like, how can I come get him? I called him. I was like, I need to bail you out. They said I have to pay this or whatever. And I just remember being so upset and distraught that that had happened.
Because I don't think her idea in calling the police was
to ever get him in trouble.
It was like, let's get answers to this question of whether or not Kay can leave. Like,
Yeah.
this was this big question in the air. And so when they showed up and they're like, yeah, we're going to separate you, Kay's like, why?
The more we look into the story and hear them explain the situation, the more scripted it starts to sound. So, Kay called the cops for the sole reason of having them grant her a way out of the house. And she did not think that Tay probably would have had some consequences to face. Also, when she wanted to go out and celebrate her birthday, wasn't the plan for her to go have fun with her husband? So, if she needed the police to get her out of the house, what was the plan? Step out of the house, then try to convince Tay, who was clearly against her leaving, to get in the car and go party wild or something? As if that wasn't enough of a red flag in the story, she states that when Tay was arrested, she was left all alone in the house.
I begged them not to take him.
Okay.
I begged him. I said, no, don't take him. Don't take him. Because the only thing I wanted at the time was to just be allowed to celebrate my birthday. I wanted to leave, but I didn't want them to take him. Like, I couldn't understand at the time why they were taking him away from me and leaving me there by myself. And that was that was scary. I was so sad because I was already confused. But then to be left alone for hours, like, it was really hard.
This pains the Alabama police force terribly. If Tay actually told them that she wasn't in her right mind, it would have made more sense to actually have taken her to a hospital to be checked, or they probably would have hung around for a bit to make sure everything was just as Tay claimed. But according to her, her mental health was no concern to them whatsoever. She did not care about celebrating her birthday again once Tay was arrested. If she could be so easily calmed, it definitely didn't require all of that drama. So much for a frenzied state of mind. There's a part of this whole episode that shows how rehearsed this sounds, and it's quite awkward.
So I think all of that too, in front of the judge, she's thinking, okay, well, he literally was just trying to. I mean, what should he have done?
Yeah, there's like
Should
three
he have-
options,
There's
right?
three options.
I could have. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, he either keeps me on the bed, tries to hide the keys, do what he did, or he lets me leave. And what's the third option?
Calling for help.
What's the third option? If nothing in the interview managed to convince anyone that something is off about their story, that question should be convincing enough. At what point did they both agree that there were three options? Seemed so convenient, but for some reason, poor Kay forgot that third option was those days and nights of rehearsing for this interview, only to flop badly on the D-Day. On the podcast, Kay claimed that Tay volunteered to go with the cops and that one has to be arrested if a domestic violence call is made. And guess what? That is not entirely true, because this comment made by someone who has worked as a court operations supervisor for 5 years will give us some clarity. Alabama does not mandatorily arrest someone on a domestic related call. No state can do this. No one in any state can be arrested without either an arrest warrant or a probable cause that a crime has occurred. This is a constitutional right and does not vary by state. If the conversations with the cops were so friendly and chill, they very likely wouldn't have found probable cause. The cops must have had good reasons to believe that Tay assaulted Kay in one way or the other. The commenter went on to write, in sum, Taylor was arrested because there was a probable cause that he committed domestic violence in the form of harassment. He was arrested and booked on this charge. He was given bail and was likely re-released on pre-trial release and given an arraignment date. And for whatever reason, the case was dismissed. One thing is almost certain, that it is the fact that the whole story on the podcast feels so rehearsed with too many points where one person had to finish the sentence of the other person, almost like they both knew what was supposed to be said at every point. Might not be too far of a stretch to assume that the questions were already pre-planned. Kay and Tay's issues were not limited to just this case of domestic violence. There was also the case of Kay being accused of not being involved in her first daughter's life because she did not love her. As usual, she has tried to defend herself and lay waste to the allegations, but there is more evidence to show that she actually does not prioritize her daughter. Before meeting and getting married to Tay, Kay had a daughter from her first marriage named Kinsley. That marriage barely lasted for a year because of abuse, and she got married early at the age of 18.
Yes, I got married at 18. I got pregnant and had my first daughter at 19. The marriage was not good. It was not compatible. We fought a lot, and when I say fight, I mean fight. It wasn't like Taylor and I's arguments.
That's why I don't like the word fight.
Yeah.
I'm
because
so sorry.
I've lived that, and I know how much harder it can be to be in that kind of relationship. But I did end up getting divorced, and now we have joint custody. So yeah, that's kind of a little short,
One thing that got people talking is the fact that her own daughter was not present in her wedding. Kinsley was not present in the wedding, especially when Kay and Tay talk so much about Kinsley as someone they love so much, even claiming that Kinsley considered Tay as some sort of a best friend.
But he wrote her a card, and it was like, thank you for being my best friend, and it was like made me cry.
That's precious.
But they are very close, and I'm so thankful because he didn't have to take that on, and he did, even though I had a lot of baggage.
This is the sensitive side.
But that big of an event going on in their life, as important as Kinsley's mom getting married and Kinsley herself not being present in the wedding, seemed a bit fishy.
You know, he's been in her life since she was 3, and she doesn't know life without Taylor. She's very close to Taylor. I mean, he's like the play parent. He's sat in the floor and played Barbies with her, and he's just so hands-on with her, and they're very close. In fact, I would say, like, he is one of her best friends.
Aww.
I mean, you wrote her a card one year for her birthday, and it was like, I think this was actually 2022, because it was at my Gigi's house when she had cancer. So yeah, it was that birthday.
If their relationship is as good as they want everyone to believe, it's very odd that Kinsley was nowhere to be found at the wedding. But this comes as no surprise when we take into account the fact that Kay moved to a different city, 11 hours away from where her daughter lives. No mom who truly cares about being present in the life of her child moves far enough from her that it would take a great level of thinking and consideration to even decide to visit. Kinsley also does not feature in their social media content, which is actually a good thing for her, if we're being honest here. Being so easily spotted in the middle of the heat her mom is taking definitely isn't something to wish upon any kid. Kay claims that she does not allow Kinsley airtime because she is 12 years old and old enough to decide that she does not want to appear on screen.
People from an outside perspective are like, well, she doesn't show her daughter, so she must not love her. But I don't think these people understand, like, number one, my daughter is 12. She has a choice. If she doesn't want to be on our podcast, on our content, then I'm not going to force her to do that.
Her stance on allowing her kid to decide whether or not she wants to feature in their content sounds somewhat hypocritical, because she has 2 other kids now who she really hasn't given that choice. Also, Kinsley was not 12 when Kay and Tay decided to start their social media journey in 2020. She was 10, but still, she wasn't featured. Her claim about respecting the privacy choices of her kids would be more acceptable if their TikTok account was not full of videos where her other daughters is shown clear as day. A quick scroll through their page would almost have you believing that their daughters were essential props for most of their videos, if not all. It just sounds like a convenient excuse for her. The real reason, however, why she does not feature Kinsley in her social media content is that Kinsley's biological dad is not in support of it.
And, you know, the other thing is her father doesn't want her on it for his own reasons, and that's his thing. So it's just, to me, like, just because we don't film her it has no relation, like, to how much we love her. Like,
when she talked about respecting Kinsley's decision of not wanting to be seen, she sounded more like it was her being a considerate mom, but she easily dismisses the dad's position on the topic as just being this thing. Like she's the only one who cares about what her daughter thinks. It's an obvious attempt at making herself into a saint-like being on this topic. In most cases of custody battles between parents, the mother is given the role of primary custodian, and the kids have to stay with her. But in Kay's situation, her dad was ruled as the primary custodian, and that raises a very important question. Was Kay such a bad mom that a judge ruled her that her ex-husband, who she said was abusive, to be the primary custodian for the child? Well, a look at some of the documents from the custody battle puts things in perspective for us. In 2016, mother filed an intent to relocate to Alabama with her partner Taylor Dudley, now husband, and desired to take the minor child with her. Mother portrayed that this relocation would financially benefit the parties and the minor child so they could advance their careers. In case you missed it, Kay and Tay are content creators, not corporate workers. So saying that a move to Alabama was with the intent of furthering their careers just sounds a bit off. 1, they could literally create content anywhere they choose to. And 2, there's really no statistics to show that Alabama boasts of creating more fortune for creators. For some reason, they decided to move to Alabama, but it really does not seem like career advancement was at the center of the decision. Kinsley was also not at the center of that decision. And it's safe to say that if Kay was granted primary custody and rights, we would have seen Kinsley appear a whole lot more in their videos. All that talk of her low screen time being as a result of her respecting Kinsley's decision falls flat on its face. It would take a lot of time to drive to Oklahoma and back, all in the name of seeing her daughter. Just like is clearly written in the court document, Kay does not see a relationship with her daughter as being so important compared to whatever career milestones she's trying her best to attain. Kay does not care so much that his supposed best friend has been left having to live so far from the women she calls, or should call, mom. Right now, all they care about are their own kids and how they can come in handy in their videos, because honestly, cuteness overload equals more views and higher replay value. That means more money for them. Every other consideration pales in comparison. In addition to her being inconsiderate about Kinsley's need for a present mother figure in her life, Kay also dabbles in a bit of bad mouthing. Father is established in the area and is a caring, devoted, and loving father. He also has a child with a former significant other whom he has a wonderful co-parenting relationship with. The minor child of this action considers these other children sisters, yet it is mother who makes it a point to correct her that father's partner is just a girlfriend and her daughter is not her sister. What Kay is doing seems evil at this point. You decide not to be present for your own daughter, then destroy the image of the women who could play the role of a present mother for her, and even goes as far as trying to talk to a child out of seeing a potential sisterly relationship with someone who, in fact, she should relate with as her sister. One would think that Kay's intention is to make Kinsley feel isolated even when she has a whole family around her. But to what end, really? She does not seem at all interested in moving back to be there for her. It would make more sense to allow her to build relationships that she can physically count on around her, not one that would take 11 hours before it can render any useful form of help. Father has always requested to keep the party's daughter off mother's social media platform and out of spotlight. Thankfully, to this point, mother has not posted the child on TikTok. However, she has made posts of her on Instagram, which was previously private and now made public, the reason of which is likely due to her viewers believing she's hiding her daughter. Therefore, rather than protect the minor child from the spotlight, she opened up her private Instagram account to the public. Mother contends there are minimal pictures of the minor child on this page, but does not acknowledge she posts the child on her stories, which only last for 24 hours, and does Q&A with her fans regarding her daughter. Mother has recently blocked father and his family from this account in another act of deceit. Additionally, mother is more consumed with her status as an influencer that she disregarded paying attention to the minor child at a recent dance recital and took pictures and spoke with fans. Yet another proof that Kay's only interest is what her followers have to say. Opening up her private Instagram account that had pictures of Kinsley just to appease fans who said she was hiding her daughter is a bad sign, because who knows what else she's willing to do if another accusation is made against her. Going as far as having Q&A sessions makes it even more disturbing. She is clearly violating the desire of Kinsley's dad, and even Kinsley's desire, which she claims to be concerned about. Her followers would not have set the planet on fire if she stood her ground and decided that she would not expose her own daughter that way. But as is already obvious, that at this point, Kay is ready to do whatever it takes to get those numbers climbing, even if it means violating a daughter's privacy. That's a terrible mother right there. It leaves little to the imagination as to why her father is the primary custodian and not Kay. If Kay were asked about her impact in her daughter's life, she would very likely argue that she is as present as she can be, but she goes to her daughter's recital and ignores her totally just for an opportunity to take pictures with fans. With Kay, there's just no limit to how far the quest for fame can push her. Child support is also at issue here. Mother has not attempted to secret her funds and transfer her digital assets to her husband. This action was initially transferred in May 2020 with full knowledge that a motion to modify would be forthcoming. Just days prior to the motion be filed, Mother sold her digital assets off her social media to her husband for $0. What doesn't add up is that her husband allegedly works a full-time job, yet the parties post numerous reels per day, and Mother has indicated her role as the actor takes approximately 15 seconds, while her husband's role as a producer is over 4 hours. Mother, also known as the artist, receives from her husband, the producer, anywhere from $100 to $500 per post. This agreement is a sham and an attempt to disguise their wealth and income so as to not increase their child support. Mother has made it very clear she is only going to pay what is court ordered, around $150 a month. But if the minor child lived with her, all her needs would be met. For a daughter she claims to love so much, paying $150 a month is where she draws her spending line. It's going to be really difficult to beat the allegations about not loving her daughter. How can someone who earns so much be so unwilling to spend on her own daughter? $150 a month is as good as saying that all responsibilities related to her daughter are her dad's, and she does not want to have anything to do with her. It's crazy to have a millionaire as a mom and live like you need help. Followers have also complained about how Tay overvlogged the pregnancy phase before Kay put to bed her second child with him. Every video caption was along the lines of "my pregnant wife this, my pregnant wife that." You would think that Kay had no other identity outside of being a pregnant woman.
In the desert.
I knew it was gonna have sand, but it's just so like deserty, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it reminds me of the desert. Oh, that's cute.
So handsome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go see the car. It's so cute. She's so cute, I can't handle it. Want to pet the camel?
Yeah, that's a little bigger than Yami, huh? Hi. Hi, Camel.
Are you kidding me? This is so cute.
This is what we're gonna eat.
Oh my goodness, it's so romantic. Can you say bird?
Yes.
That's so
Can you say falcon?
Falcon.
That's fantastic.
Gosh, my heart's racing. I've always wanted to hold it out.
You want spicy water? Mmm.
Oh.
She's like, I gotta clean myself up after that.
What do you think?
Oh my gosh, it just keeps going.
It's a little tall, huh? Are you excited to go to the top?
No.
What?
You.
Really?
I don't need to see what it looks like up there. I've been in an airplane.
In an airplane?
I see it fine from here. I see the building. It's really cool.
What do you want to do instead?
Anything but.
Anything.
Anything.
Maybe go to the Dior spa?
A nice massage on the ground.
It's on the 30th floor.
Close enough to the ground. Closer than that.
Instead of 1,000 floors, we're just going up 29.
I got my Dior slides on too.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is the nicest massage room I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like I'm gonna break something.
It looks like, what? How was the massage?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
I could get used to this.
Every phase of this pregnancy was out there on the internet. Week by week, we were updated, and this is characteristic of Kay and Tay that need to let the world know everything that goes on in their lives. It's understandable that they are a creator couple. It would be expected that there would be still some level of privacy afforded a woman who was pregnant. It just didn't make much sense how comfortable they were making a lot out of content out of the fact that she was pregnant. Her pregnancy became a money-making scheme of some sort. The joy of pregnancy and motherhood was thrown out of the window, substituted for opportunities to make money.
What do you think now?
I'm having them like every 3 to 5 minutes.
They're consistent?
Yeah, and they're not letting up. It's been like an hour and a half and they're just getting stronger. And my app says go to the hospital. It literally says go to the hospital.
What can I do for you?
The bags.
The bags?
Put them in the car.
Okay. Shivering?
Yes. Yammy.
What?
You get Yammy. She's in my clothes.
You're gonna do so good.
I know, but I'm so scared.
It sticks to have a camera pointed at your wife at that stage of pregnancy. The only thing that should matter at such a time is getting her to the hospital safely and making sure everything is alright. It's as much an intimate moment as it can get. Not one to be shared with the whole world. Their chase for every penny TikTok can pay has turned them into people who do not treat any moment of their lives as being private.
How are you feeling?
Emotional.
Why?
That's the thing. I don't even know why I'm emotional.
You have cried a lot today.
I cried in the drive-thru line.
Why did you cry in the drive-thru?
Because she's still head up. It should be like instinctual for them to want to be head down at this point. So why is she not doing it? I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
I don't think you could do anything else, sweetie. You gave her plenty of room.
That's not funny.
You could tell that they were out to milk that phase of their lives for all it was worth. And just as intended, it worked out for them. Most of the videos they put out in that period got millions of views. While they would come off as good strategists of content creators, theirs is not a path to be taken with regard to how public the entirety of their lives have become. Some of their eyes are very gut. Some of their videos have very gut-wrenching reactions that would make you roll your eyes, like this one where everything was annoyingly staged.
We didn't make a good first impression.
What do you mean?
Like, I didn't feel like we weren't relating to each other. They're New Yorkers, and I'm like Southerner. I want to do it again. Let's start over.
The first impression?
Yes.
You can't redo that.
So we're to believe that their guest just stood somewhere in that room watching them put on this terrible show. And again, what is it with Tay always holding a camera? It's painful to think of all the fakeness that goes in their lives just because they want to put out content almost on a daily basis and on everything that happens with them.
Watch me.
What?
I'm walking here.
What? Sweetie, that was not good.
Seriously?
You can't just say I'm walking here.
I thought it'd be funny.
No one says that.
They didn't laugh.
No.
Okay, wait. I have a better idea.
Okay.
Watch.
I like Elle's apartment.
Oh, thanks.
It kind of reminds me of Friends.
Oh, okay.
Whatever brand of content this is, it is very painful to watch. It goes all the way to the extreme ends of being cringe, then pushes the boundaries even more. It makes absolutely no sense, from the weirdly forced baby voice to the terrible acting with their co-actors. Everything needs to be thrown in the bin and incinerated.
So embarrassing.
Yeah, okay, I think we just wash it and we just...
I have a better idea.
Yeah, no.
One more idea.
I don't...
Please, watch.
So how about that Yankees play yesterday?
I don't think the season's even started. So.
Sure did.
No.
There was really no reason why he jerked like that. Content creators do the most, but this is just straight up cringe content that has no direction. With Kay and Tay, you don't know what to expect. If they're not online trying to douse the flames of domestic violence case, they are neglecting their child. And when they're not doing that, they are not out there putting out content that makes your skin crawl. That was all about Kay and Tay. Let me know what you think in the comments and see you in the next one.